Hello my little sous chefs. Today we are going to learn how to make my favorite fake ice cream. And what that means is it's a healthy version of a little treat you can have when you really want something sweet. And in this case we're going to make peach ice cream. Let's quickly go over the tools that you'll need for this. So you'll need 16 ounces of peaches. You'll need a tablespoon of lemon juice, which I juiced a fresh lemon. And then you will need 3 tablespoons of honey. You will need coconut milk. So you'll need a half a cup measuring cup. You will need a really sturdy blender like a Vitamix or a Ninja, or in this case I'm going to be using my Cuisinart. And then that's it. So you could probably, if you don't like peaches or you don't have peaches, you could replace it with bananas or another type of berry. But in this case, it's the end of summer, and my favorite summer fruit are peaches. So I cut up the last of them, and you can also just go and buy frozen fruit at the store. But in this case, I had fresh ones that I cut up and then I froze, because you have to start out with frozen fruit. So let's go ahead and get started. So what you do is you take the peaches, and I'm just gonna kind of break them up in here. And if you are making fresh fruit, I learned this the hard way, is that you will want it to be small pieces. Because if you do bigger pieces, it's harder to blend up, and it just doesn't, it takes a lot longer and is a lot harder on your blender. So let's go ahead and break these up. Okay, so once you've got all of the peaches in the bowl, the next thing you will do is take a half of a cup of coconut milk. So I use coconut milk a lot in cooking, and usually it doesn't require the whole tin. So what I do is I put them in these little baggies and I freeze it. So that way it stays good until I need it. So I thawed this overnight while I was busy freezing the peaches. So you add the half cup coconut milk in there. And as you're blending it, if you need more, you can always add a little bit more. The next thing we are going to do is put in 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. And see, I have a 2-sided one, so I'm going to use the other side to do 3 tablespoons of honey. If you don't, then just make sure that you clean off your spoon beforehand. So let's measure out 3 tablespoons of honey. And sometimes honey gets a little bit crystallized or hard, so just ask your parents if they think that you need to microwave it, or maybe ask for some help. But if you can spoon it out, you should be totally fine. And if you don't like the flavor of honey, or you don't have honey, you could always substitute for maple syrup, or even just do half maple syrup, half honey, so it doesn't just have like a really overpowering honey taste. I don't mind it, I like honey, so I'm just doing all honey. Now that that's in there, I'm going to put the top on, and we blend away. Depending on what you're using, you're probably always going to have to stop every little bit and push it down with a spatula, so you make sure to mix it all up. So let's go ahead. So we blended that up, and now you can see what it looks like. You see that consistency? So this is perfect, so you could have some right now as a dessert. And then what I do is I just put it in a little container. So you can have some of it now, but you can also put it in a little freezer tub and have some for later for when you feel like a little frozen treat. Usually because it is fruit, it solidifies more than dairy. So they always say leave it out for about 10 minutes before you try and scoop it up. Okay, I want to make sure that you understand what the consistency should look like, because some blenders will do it faster and some will do others. But that's why you might have to pause and push some down, because you want to make sure you blend up all of the big chunks and you want it to be really smooth. See, so can you see how smooth this is? There's no big chunks. It looks almost like ice cream. But that's it. You've got yummy dessert. Bon appetit.